Ever since sin came into the world, man has always looked for ways to disobey God and not subject himself to the standard of God in all areas of life, whether politically, socially, morally, or even emotionally. Even religiously, you see people do what they want and they think they will get away with it. The book of Genesis chapter 5 illuminate this and told us that man's thinking was continually evil because sin entered the world. Until today, in every aspect of human life in the society, people think they can do anything they want. They claim that, oh, what is good to you may not be good to other persons. And so, live your life the way you want. I will live my life the way I want. That is the situation we find ourselves. Even in relationships or in marriage relationships, that is what people do. You see people jumping in and jumping out of marriage, do all kinds of things they want because they believe that they are the standard, and they are sometimes some may depend on their cultural standards, some may depend on their own desires, some may depend on their weakness to be able to control themselves. They say, after all, man not be firewood. And so people have come to accept every kinds of abnormalities when it comes to relationship. And such is the case in a video I'm about to show you, where people gather together and were maybe in a get together. I don't know the context of the situation, but they were discussing about polygamy. Is it right for a man to marry two wives or two or more wives, or to just remain with one? And so their opinions is what I want to analyze in this video. My name is Solomon Asukwo. This is the Moral Governor TV, a channel where we weigh every action and inaction in all aspects of life based on the weight, the divine weight of the moral governor. The moral governor himself is God, the one who is the lawgiver in every aspect of human life. And he has requested that man should be subjected to his own laws. I will show you this video, and in this video I'm going to analyze each statement. In this video, it was a debate between some young persons who came together, maybe for a get together or so, and I want to analyze their opinions on what they say concerning whether polygamy is a question of capacity or is a question of morality. I think in the video, majority stood or held the view that polygamy is an issue of capacity and not morality. This man is not the standard of morality. Now, watch this video.
One woman fit kill you.
Yes.
But so it's not the fact that you are married to 2 or 3 or 4. One woman fit kill you.
Yes.
Now, then you go back. You went back to religion. Okay, to the 2 major religions. I have not seen in the Bible where the Bible says you should not marry more than 1 wife.
Thank you.
The only place where the Bible spoke about marrying more than 1 wife, he said that he who desires the office of a bishop desires a good thing. He must be the husband of 1 wife. I don't want to become bishop.
Now, so what you be?
Do you understand? I still want to get to 1001. Anyway.
Exactly.
So, but the truth is, if you have capacity, if you have capacity to take care of them, there is nothing immoral about marrying more than 1 wife. If you have capacity, if you have capacity, there's nothing immoral. Who decides what is moral? Who defines morality? Do you understand? So we will say that our fathers were immoral. Abraham was immoral. David was immoral. Solomon.
Now, the video is a long video. From this perspective of this is the first speaker. From the little I got from the video is the first speaker, and I will first analyze his own thoughts on the issue at hand. And every other person except for one lady, which we are going to see our own thoughts. It was a bit contrary to what the majority were standing for. So, but his own is like a foundation for every other person's opinion on this issue. But before I go into analyzing this video, I want you to subscribe to this channel, because it's a channel where we come together, look at what human beings have resulted in doing and weigh them based on the standard of the moral governor, and come up with what ought to be as revealed by the manual of the moral governor. So you will do well to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so that you always be notified whenever we are hard to discuss issues like this, and always share whatever video that you see so that others may give their own opinion on what they think concerning the issue. Now, there are some issues that I want to highlight from what this first debater said concerning polygamy. First, he said that polygamy is a matter of capacity and not a matter of morality. There is a matter of capacity, that is, it should depend on the capacity of a man. If a man has the capacity to marry 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 to 10 wives, then let him do it. But those who don't have the capacity should remain with one. That is the first thing he talked about. Then secondly, he also said that there is nowhere in the Bible that gives an injunction that a man must marry 1 wife. And the only place that the Bible gave injunction, 1 Timothy chapter 3, where it says, the one who desires to be a bishop or an elder will be a husband of 1 wife. Then another thing, he said that morality is relative. I think other people in the video also came up to support that morality is relative, and so it should not be imposed on anybody. People should be allowed to do whatever they want in marriage. And also, lastly, he also said that when the lady who came up to talk about that there is difference between the Old Testament and New Testament, he said that Jesus did not come to abolish the law, that he came to fulfill it. So we are going to look at these issues one after the other. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Now, the first issue, he said marrying of more than 1 wife is not the issue of morality, but it is the issue of capacity. Now, that is an assertion. That is an opinion. What does the moral governor say? I want to relate it to the second thing he said, that there is nowhere in the Bible. That alone will help us to know whether it's a matter of capacity or it's a matter of morality. You remember in Matthew 19, when the Jews came to Jesus to test him, and they wanted to get his view about the divorce. That is it good for a man to divorce his wife and marry another, maybe for every reason or for any reason? And when they posed that question to Jesus, Jesus did not take them back to the law of Moses, because there are 3 dispensations in the Bible. We have the patriarchal dispensation, the Mosaic, and the Christian age. Now, Jesus took them back to the foundation, the origin, took them back to the order of creation, because everything in this world is seen in Genesis. Genesis is the book of beginnings, the beginning of family, the beginning of the home, the beginning of mother, the beginning of all kinds of things is seen in Genesis. So we talk about the beginning of the home, the foundation, the origin, the place where God ordained that a man should create or have a home. Jesus Christ took them to that foundation. And what does that beginning say? In Genesis chapter 2, from verse 24, the Bible says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother, and he shall cleave or join with his wife, and they shall become one flesh. The next verse says, and they both were naked. So when you talk about the word both, that is, it has to do with 2 things. So bringing 2 things together is no longer one. Bringing 2 people, you know, the word both grammatically is a relative conjunction that brings 2 things together, 2 things of probably different nature together. So both, a parallel of 2 things, not beyond 2. We talk about both. So a man, one person, shall leave his father and join with his wife, another person, one, and they both will become one. So biblically, 1 plus 1 is not 2. As far as marriage is concerned, is 1. So this is the order that the moral governor gave when it comes to marriage relationship. A man shall leave his father and join with his wife. What is that telling us? It's telling us that from the beginning, that is why Jesus took the Jews back to the beginning. And they came to inquire. Now, in that Matthew chapter 19, 1 verse 4 specifically, Jesus took them back because Jesus first saw divorcing and marrying another person as being a polygamous in nature. And polygamy, since the person is now polygamous in nature, Jesus now termed it to be an adultery. That means the person has polluted the union that was ordained by God. And he said, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Even including those who are the key players in marriage, they should not put asunder, because they are not the one that originated the union. If marriage is a movie, the man is not the script writer. God, the moral governor, is the script writer. And so man don't have the right to alter. Man don't have the right to adulterate that which he did not create. And so the divine plan of God for man and woman is that one man should marry one woman. That is the divine pattern. No matter how professional you are in the movie industry as a Nollywood actor or actress, you must act based on the script that is given to you. You cannot change the idea, because every movie producer have a message. And so God, as the script writer of marriage relationship, has written that one man to one woman. That is what the script writer said. That is what the moral governor has designed to be. God is the script writer, and he has called anyone who wants to go into the relationship to act according to the script. So if you must marry, you should know that you are coming to act a script that you did not write. And so you must act based on the rules of the script writer, who is the moral governor, God himself. And so when you say that there is nowhere in the Bible that the Bible says a man should stay with one wife, then this is not true. Because from the beginning, Jesus Christ took the Jews. He boycotted the Mosaic age and took them to the beginning, and even gave a reason why God or Moses allowed them to divorce their wife and marry another. He said because of the hardness of their hearts. Because of the hardness of their heart. Man has always wanted to do what pleases him and not submitting to God's authority. And so because the people were hardened in their heart, Moses did not command divorce. They were already doing it because that was what they wanted to do. Just like in this video now. Maybe these men, they already have, some people say man is polygamous in nature. They already have the desire to marry more than one wife or have side chicks. They are coming to use that their desire to serve as if it's a standard for marriage. It did not start today. It has always been there. So since these people wanted to do what they wanted or what they desired, Moses allowed them. Moses allowed them to do what they desired, but he did not command it. God did not command it. And that is why Jesus took them back to the foundation, the beginning of where marriage was instituted, to let them know that you divorcing your wife and even marrying another is polygamous in nature, and that leads to adultery. So any man who is having two wives has polluted, has defied the divine pattern that the moral governor has given for marriage. Because God said that to protect the purity, the sanctity of marriage. You know, many people get into marriage without knowing the purpose to which the script writer, God himself, did it. God has a purpose. Just like every movie producer has a purpose for producing a particular movie. If you check in the Bible, right from the Old Testament to the New Testament, God has always used marriage relationship as a token to help man understand his love, his care, and as a providing father for humanity. Marriage has always been the closest relationship. No other relationship is as close that one can think about when it comes to the relationship between God and man. And so God instituted marriage to help man understand his relationship that he had planned to have with humanity. And so those who are bastardizing and adulterating marriage are going against the order, are going against the purpose of the moral governor as far as marriage is concerned. Even in the New Testament, in Ephesians chapter 5, Christ loved the church. A man should also love his wife. And just like the church submits to Christ, a woman should also submit to her husband. And in the end of that chapter, almost at the end of the chapter, the writer said that God is not talking about marriage. He is talking about the relationship between Christ and his church, using marriage as a symbol, as a token to represent that relationship, to help us understand that relationship. So that is the purpose. And so when before you get into marriage, you need to know the purpose so that you will not go there and act in a way that the scriptwriter never told you to do. And these people want to rewrite the script of an institution they never created. So God is the one who ordained marriage institution. So no man has the right to alter it. No man has the right to adulterate it.